Hello everyone, it's Nick here of course, and this short log, or it might be a long log, I don't know. I want to talk about the correlation between money and happiness. Does money make you happy? How much do you actually need? Or does money just get in the way of happiness? Now for me, although I've always wanted loads and loads of money, it's not really for the reasons of ultimate richness and to bathe in champagne every day and have massive houses and all that sort of stuff. For me, it's always been about safety and the ability to control your own life, really. Money gives you lots of freedoms, but it can also be problematic as well. Now, the reason I started thinking about this is quite recently on Channel 4, on their 4OD service, 4 on demand. If you're in the UK, you can set up a password and view all their back catalogue. But there's a programme I saw on there by comedian Jon Richardson and his mate, where he travels around looking at various subjects. There's 3 episodes, but one subject which particularly caught my eye was about money, and they're exploring just what I've said really. Does money make you happy? And during their travels they visited a few people to see what their experiences were of it, of various different circumstances, and I'm just interested in what you thought about it. Are you happy with what you got? Do you always want more, or is it something that you don't actually think about at all? Now the first people that Jon Richardson visited on their trip was a lottery winner who won it big in 1995, I think, who was married at the time. And immediately he bought a big house. I've written this all down here so I don't miss anything. He bought a big house, fast cars, he bought loads of toys. He even had a replica full-scale Dalek from Doctor Who in his living room. Swimming pool, boats. I think on holiday once he chartered a private Learjet to go where he wanted. He bought 5 of his friends their own house, so they were mortgage free forever. And now, despite all his good intentions, eventually his friends just saw him as for money instead of him, so the relationship was soured. I don't think he's in contact with those friends anymore. I don't believe he's married anymore, so he's divorced. So it's just one man living in a big lush house on his own with pool table and everything he wants. He said he was happy, but he didn't really look that happy. I think he's lost all his peers really. The people that got similar money to him, he can't relate to. His previous friends, because he's got more money than them, he can't relate to them either. So he's just some man living in a house on his own. He said he doesn't regret winning the lottery. He says he'd rather be rich and alone than poor and alone, which is fine. Who wouldn't be? But maybe it's best to be poor and with friends. I mean, there's whole villages in Africa where you see all the kids running around all smiling and stuff, and they haven't got millions of pounds and their own swimming pool. It makes you think, doesn't it? So that was the first person. He had loads of money and he wasn't happy as well. Our second group of people they visited was on an eco commune. They might be moved along soon if they haven't already, but it's on a patch of land near Heathrow. There's illegal squatters there, but they had set up a camp made up of caravans and makeshift houses, and their idea was they wanted to live without money completely. Is that possible? Well, what they were what they've did is grown their own food. I mean, it's hard work. Got no electricity or TV or anything like that. They do have some solar panels. I don't know who paid for them, which provides the small power they need. But as I say, got no television or entertainments there. Some of them do have part-time work to pay for beer money and so forth. I think they had a wind turbine as well. Now, it seemed like a lot of hard work, although they did seem quite happy. Toilet facilities were a bit dodgy because there was no plumbed in running water, so it was all a bit of a hut and a cover it with sawdust affair. But these people, despite having, well, nothing really, they did seem happier than the lottery man. Now, I don't think it's a life that I could do, although I do like the idea. Change the patch of land near Heathrow to a desert island in the Caribbean with a commune catching their own fish, and then I'm starting to get interested. But I can see the idea. I mean, I'm more in love with the idea than the reality with that one, I think. The evenings were a bit of a drag because they didn't have any television, as I said, so they just all sat around the campfire sharing stories and singing. And if you were a group of people you don't like, that can get old pretty quickly. Things like buying new clothes and stuff like that. I mean, these things out in the open are all right in good weather. So it's been raining for ages or it gets -10, then obviously it's not so much fun anymore. You get ill, then you can't work, and then you can't grow your own food. They didn't seem to cover that in the programme. I think there was like 4 groups. No, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 groups of people he visited there. Now, the third one. Let's see if I'm getting this correctly. Hope you're keeping up with this. Now, the third one was a businessman. I won't say his name because I've forgotten. But he ran his own phone company, so built that up from scratch. And he always told his wife that he was going to be a millionaire before he was 40, and she believed him. But before he was 40, he was actually a billionaire, a really, really driven man. And eventually, he sold the phone company he'd built up for £1.5 billion. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not sort of a value of money I can sort of equate to. If you were suddenly given £1.5 billion, what would you do? Well, this chap goes all around the world doing business deals, and essentially he doesn't take any time off. It's always work, work the whole time. Now, he wasn't available to interview on this television programme. Big surprise. So they had to interview his family. Now, although they lived in abject luxury in a huge house, it's really had a toll on his children and his wife as well. I mean, as I say, they hardly ever saw him. Now, the children, it's really tough for them because they seemed without purpose. They knew they was never going to be as popular as him, but they didn't really need to work, so didn't. And their life seemed to be gradually wasting away. The son in particular, he's now become agoraphobic, spends most of the time in his bedroom, and is even scared to leave the house. Apparently his father wants him to have all the lap of luxuries and travel around with him. I would jump at the chance, but something's gone on over this time because the son doesn't like. He's got big problems. He's seen many therapists and over the years, and none have been able to help him. So he's completely screwed up in the brain. I hope he gets better soon, but I don't know. So I can't help thinking this particular family would have been much happier without the money. I don't know if the businessman who owned all the money in the first place is happy, but you know, he seems to be addicted to it. So immense wealth, not happy whatsoever. Can you detect a pattern here? So the lottery winner don't look happy, although he says he is, and the businessman's family, they don't seem happy at all. I find it hard to feel a bit sorry for them though, because you think of something to do, wouldn't you? You've got millions and badillions, and you just think of a business idea or even a non-profit thing or even do charity work, but that's just me. Now this is probably the most interesting one of all, because next John come to a piano tuner. So he run his own business, his life was his own. Now get this, he had no mortgage because he was homeless. Yes, so he ran his own business but he had nowhere to live. How did he run the business? He sleeps rough in London, in central London. He says there's lots of shelter, so rain isn't a problem. But again, it must be freezing if he gets ill. I mean, how do you hire a piano tuner to tune your piano if it's someone off the streets? But he looked quite clean and happy. I don't know if he'd had a breakdown at some point, but it was not noticeable. His only belongings were a bike and a water bottle on that bike and a bag with a few things and a mattress. He says he was previously renting a few years ago. He's got a gym membership because he's not short of money, so he can have a wash there. He does have a purpose in life though, and he said that money is just a tool. And it was his own choice. He wasn't forced to do that. Is that safe, living off the streets? Eventually you might get some drunkards or some people trying to rob you, or attack you. Yeah, so again, like the eco-commune, I mean, this guy's got a bit of money, but he's got nowhere to live. I mean, what is he doing now? It's winter, so it gets dark early. Is he on the streets now? Again, it's not something I would do, but he seemed very happy. Is he crackers? Comment below. Is that something you would do? Work as a piano tuner and then live rough? You want some joys in life, don't you? You want to go out with friends and celebrate and buy yourself. Although I'm quite minimalistic myself, I don't buy that much apart from the occasional hat. For your hard work, you want to have something at least, don't you? Or am I being just materialistic with the few things I do have? I don't think I'm going overboard on things. I only buy things I need, apart from the hats. And the last one, this is the best bloke here. He was a self-made millionaire who ran his own company. He'd managed to get 16 million pounds, but he'd given it all away. He suddenly decided that money wasn't that important. He could help other people a bit better. He set up a charity to help with cancer. He didn't keep any money for himself. He didn't give any money to his family. They didn't seem that bothered, but I think they were secretly a little bit. 16 million? You were going to inherit some, and then without a question you inherited none. I'd be annoyed. Anyway, he set up this cancer charity, which he sold his house as well. It was a huge mansion, and now spends some time in a small flat above the charity building. Incredulous. I mean, you got to admire this man. He's a fantastic chap, but again, he didn't seem very happy at all. It seemed like the money had brought him a lot of stress. He set up the charity, that was his main drive, but he still seemed a bit shell-shocked a little bit. But I wanted him to be more happy than he was really, but he didn't seem to be. The good positive in this is, comparing him to the guy that had the phone company, the 1.5 billion pound person, is because his family, his daughter still had to work, his family still had to work, it gave them a purpose. They had to get up in the morning, they had to earn their own money and save like everyone else, so they had something to do. Also, when this chap retires, his pension goes to the charity as well. So, just in summary, those group of people, if we look at the correlation between money and happiness, for you can make your own decision. Had the lottery winner, which didn't seem overly happy, who had no friends, or they weren't there on the programme anyway, had a bit of a detachment. The eco-commune, no money, they lived a bit without, but they all seemed happy enough, although it was a hard life. The businessman with the phone company, his family were a bit screwed, or a bit done in, 1.5 million. He had the piano tuner, who lived rough. He had some money coming in, but chose not to have the luxuries in life. He seemed to be happy. And of course, the self-made millionaire I just mentioned had the 16 million and gave it all away. Now, from watching this programme, as I say, I always wanted a bit more money. It gave me the sort of like overview that everyone's different. What makes them happy? I think happiness comes from within. But it seemed to me, true happiness comes from the feeling of being useful, doing a good job, possibly helping other people, but knowing you being the best you could be. Now, money can enhance life, but for some people it is an absolute nightmare. If you build it up gradually and get used to it, that seems to make you happy. But it's essentially what you do with it and your own outlook in life. It seems to me if you've got problems in life and you get more money, it could just prove as a magnifying glass to make some of your problems worse. And money doesn't cure everything. Now, I'm sure in the future, maybe 100 years or 1,000 years, there won't be a monetary system at all. When we start mining the galaxy and every element is in abundance, proving it to be worthless, and then it's all about just doing a good job. And then you know, happiness will be responded to that. So does money make you happy? Well, it could do. How much do you need? I don't know. But as I say, from what I said at the beginning of the video, it still stands after watching this programme, really. If I was a millionaire, which I hope I would be, my life wouldn't change that much. I wouldn't buy more. I'd live the same level of life. But I knew that I've got the safety going forward, that I will never be homeless or without, and get the odd good thing in life. But I wouldn't flash it around. I wouldn't be a flash Herbert in a massive yacht and so forth. Probably give a bit to charity, but not as much as that guy that gave absolutely everything. So I hope that's been a bit of an interest to you. If you've got any comments, please put them below. I'd like to hear what you've got to say about the subject, about money. Are you happy? Would you like more? Do you donate to charity? Or are you happy in yourself? Or do you completely disagree with what I've said? Yeah, so that was interesting, wasn't it? I hope. So thanks for watching again. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.